I'm gonna save you, man. I swear to God, I'm gonna save you. Everyone knows about the Titanic disaster when in 1912, the RMS Titanic, sailing from England to the United States, struck an iceberg in the North Atlantic, resulting in the deaths of more than 1,500 men, women, and children. It was without a doubt a horrible, horrible tragedy. But what if we could change that? Now I know what you must be thinking. Yomarz, how could you even say such a thing? Dabbling with the history of such a horrific event would be extremely disrespectful to the memories of all who died. Romanticizing a fiction around the sinking of the Titanic is one thing, but completely changing the history is inconsiderate to the point of being monstrous. Well, too bad someone did it already.
Well, here's your chance to save the Titanic. This is your chance to become the hero. Or maybe you just feel like aiming for that overgrown ice cube.
Level with me, sailor. You're aiming for it, aren't you?
Oh my God, this can't be real. They literally tell you that you can choose to crash into the iceberg, killing everyone aboard.
So are you ready to step up and be the hero that saves the day? Or are you just destined to become a footnote in history?
No, you won't be a footnote in history. You'll be remembered as one of the most horrible mass murderers of all time. You know, under these people. So this is Save the Titanic, an app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones so you can experience this travesty no matter what smart device you have. And it features what appears to be a character from Gumby? Wait, that's a ship? Oh, yeah, I see it. The giant blocks of cheese stuck to the side really gave it away. Also, what the hell is this music? The game features two modes, Classic and oh god, what the fuck were they thinking? But I'll get back to that in a bit. In Classic mode, you have one mission, Save the Titanic! Basically, you have a few seconds before you hit the iceberg, so you need to swipe your finger like a madman to turn that wheel and fill up the clearance gauge before that happens. Oh yeah, also you're apparently helmed by Captain Quippy.
Bah! I just spilled coffee all over my suit. How could this night possibly get me worse?
Ha ha ha, everyone's gonna die.
Iceberg right ahead!
Oh, I won. And I have 31,000 arbitrary points. Wait, what's this? Among the rescued Mr. Mark Scheimer, whose daughter would invent the rule of no swimming for 30 minutes after you eat. Kids worldwide now hate you. Oh man, funny joke. You're right, I should just let everyone die. Every time you save the ship, you get these messages about people you saved who ended up ruining the world, like Neil Taneja, whose granddaughter creates the 1-hour infomercial, Richard Payne, whose grandson starts the first intergalactic war, and Emily Wintergarden, whose grandson successfully breds jaguars with rabid pit bulls. But if you really think the world would be better off without these people, then fine, game, fine, I'll crash the goddamn thing.
Iceberg right ahead!
Come on! Steer this thing like your life depended on it.
Among the lost Mr. Mark Ross, whose great-grandson would have pioneered hovercars. Seen any hovercars lately? Oh, fuck you! So that's pretty much all there is for Classic mode. So let's check out the other one. Endurance. In Endurance mode, you... Hold on, I just can't. I just can't, okay? This game is so fucked up! On the surface, it's just a shitty mobile app, right? Just a dumb game put on the App Store with no effort. But when you delve deeper and think about how it's a cartoonish representation of a fucking horrific tragedy where over 1,500 people died, then you realize it's a little bit fucked in the head. That's why it's so hard to talk about the fact that in endurance mode, they turned the fucking Titanic disaster into an infinite runner where you steer the ship down a fucking rally track in the ocean made of icebergs, and you need to shoot other icebergs with the ship's cannons. The ship has cannons! It's a fucking passenger ship! Oh, and you also destroy boxes to charge up your autopilot and auto turret power-ups, and you collect coins so you can upgrade your ship. Just like in real life. Now some of you might be saying, hey man, cool it, why don't you? It's been 100 goddamn years since this happened. But it really isn't all that long ago when you think about it. The last Titanic survivor, Milvina Dean, died in 2009. There are still people alive today who remember the Titanic sinking, and even some who knew people aboard. Now I'm not one to say that you can never joke about a disaster like this, but this is not the classiest way to go about it. This is akin to someone making a game where you play as the World Trade Center as you dodge passenger jets. Now, don't get me wrong, there is something macabrely funny about both a personified skyscraper dodging airplanes and an onslaught of icebergs coming after a heavily armed Titanic, but it's also fucking horrible. I think the grossest part about this game is how it presents itself. If it was a 4chan-esque spew of exaggerated mockery, that'd be one thing, but it flaunts itself like it's a cutesy kiddie game. It has cute little jokes and all the graphics are soft and doughy. Even the list of similar games in the App Store is filled with all these kids games and educational clay sculpting apps. Just imagine an elementary school bus full of kids, and one of them is just having the time of his life playing baby's first mass murder simulator. Sorry, Carrie Huffalump. Rest in peace. And no, of course these aren't the names of the actual people who died in the Titanic, which is why I sent the developer on Twitter and Facebook a full list of every single victim. For his own education.